Here's your First Warn Weather Forecast First, sponsored by Anderson Collision Center. Visit driveanderson.com.
It's a comfortable and pleasant late summer day across the state line today. Our temperatures have made their way into the mid-80s for many of us, and that's where some spots still sit. Others down into the low 80s as the sun begins to set here late this evening. But our dew points are still really dry, which is leading to the really comfortable weather that we have. Outside of it being a little bit warm for this time of year, still a very pleasant day. We have a little bit of that sunshine peeking through some of that wildfire smoke and the haze, but otherwise things remain clear here late into the evening. Our temperatures will drop underneath those clear skies down into the mid-50s for overnight lows. We rebound again tomorrow, getting back into the mid-80s once again. I'll time out when we could see our next rain chances and how long this warm stretch may stick around, coming up in your most trusted forecast a little later.
Right now at 5, Winnebago County first responders remember the fallen, the memorial for those killed in the line of duty.
Plus, new numbers for Rockford's housing market, the good news for both buyers and sellers.
And Rockford University gives back to the community, the organizations they helped in their annual Day of Service.
Live from WTVO 17, this is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Wendell Edwards. We thank you for being here. Today marks 23 years since that horrific, tragic attack on September 11th, 2001. Winnebago County honored first responders who lost their lives that day. They honored them with their ceremony.
Eyewitness News reporter Blake Dietz went to that memorial this morning. And Blake, this is something they say we should always remember.
Absolutely, Mimi. Wendell, police, firefighters, and medical personnel and supporters gathered at the Winnebago County 9/11 Emergency Responders Memorial this morning to pay their respects. While many reflected on the tragic events that unfolded that day, first responders I spoke to say today isn't just about reflecting on the past, but putting forward what we can do in the years to come to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice for the betterment of their community.
The thing that we want to remember is that there's not that much that actually divides us. We think that there is, but it's not. After September 11, 2001, the patriotism in this country went through the roof. 23 years later, yes, we can see that there is division, and we're in an election year. We know what's going on. But let's get beyond that, because there are bigger things that are happening in our country, and we can come together again.
Now, more reaction from other first responders on what 9/11 means to them. That's all coming up at 6 o'clock. Mimi.
All right, thanks, Blake. In honor of the fallen heroes of 9/11, the Rock River Valley Blood Center hosted a special blood drive. It's an annual event the Blood Center holds to commemorate September 11th and remember those who lost their lives. Organizers say the blood drive is especially important right now because of a national shortage. Radio station 95.3 The Bull and Jack's Pub teamed up with the RRVBC for the event, offering incentives to donors. They say holding the drive on this day should serve as a reminder to donors why blood is needed every day.
When 9/11 happened in 2001, a lot of people rushed to blood centers to get blood because there were a lot of people who were injured and who needed blood transfusions. And so now every year on 9/11, we remember those people who lost their lives and those people who were in the hospital and who were saved by blood donors on that day.
Anderson says they expect blood centers in the South to request help as Hurricane Francine is set to make landfall along the Gulf Coast.
This morning, a Rockford school was forced into a lockdown. This happened at Welsh Elementary on Huffman Boulevard. Police arrived at the school around 9:30 due to a disruptive visitor. A Rockford Public School spokesperson says a lockdown was lifted sometime around 10:45. All students and staff were safe and classes continued as normal for the rest of the day.
Freeport police are investigating after shots were fired in a neighborhood. This happened this morning on East Prospect Terrace near the intersection with Galena Avenue. Just before 4 a.m., police heard the gunshots go off, which also alerted the city's sound thinking system. Police found evidence of a gun being fired behind a home in that area. No reports of any victims or property damage. Police are investigating this incident and believe it is not a random act of violence. If you have any information, contact Freeport Police or State Line Area Crime Stoppers.
A Rockford man will spend more than 5 years in prison on federal firearm charges. 36-year-old Renard Macklin pleaded guilty to illegal firearm possession earlier this year. Now he's been sentenced to 70 months in prison. He admitted to having an AR-15 style rifle when he led Rockford police on a high-speed chase in 2020 on Auburn Road. In 2021, he was also found with a stolen handgun during the execution of a search warrant. And the gun charges come as Macklin is a convicted felon and is not allowed to possess any firearms.
Officials are investigating after a small plane crashes in a Chicago suburb. This is in Roselle, near Schaumburg. Reports say the plane went down around 11 this morning into trees near the Schaumburg Regional Airport. According to the FAA registries, the plane is owned by someone from Iowa and was flying from Janesville to Schaumburg. Authorities have said both the pilot and passenger are okay. They were treated and released on the scene.
Rockford's housing market numbers have been released for July, showing improvements in a competitive market. The average home price in Rockford hit another high, an average of $220,000 a home now. But home inventory is up 11%, with new listings up 5% as well. It's in its latest release, the Realtor.com ranked Rockford as the number 4 housing market in the country. Interest rates are starting to drop and more new homes are being built, which is helping the market. All of that means good news for buyers.
For the buyers, this is kind of the welcome news that they've been waiting for. Is, it relieves some of the pressure, it provides a little bit more buying choices, and we're also seeing fewer multiple offer situations. So they're able to kind of get into the house and take a look at it and write that offer and not be competing with as many other buyers.
That's Connor Brown with the Northwest Illinois Alliance of Realtors. He also added, for sellers, it's still a great time to list your home while the market is hot.
Students and staff at Rockford University get the chance to give back to the community. Today was the annual Jane Addams Day of Caring. The event's named after the university's most pivotal alumna. She was a social worker and co-winner of the Nobel Peace Prize in 1931. The university provided help to Burpee Museum, the Discovery Center, and Rockford Rescue Mission, to name a few. Students and staff in the English department went to Tinker Swiss Cottage to help with gardening and transcribing letters from Rockford's history.
Tinker Swiss Cottage has a lot of history, and there are a lot of letters and lots of things that haven't really been poured over entirely, so it seemed right to have English professors and students of English to come out and look at some of the letters and help out and transcribe them and make some sense of what it was like to live back then.
Rockford University was first founded as the Rockford Female Seminary in 1847 before becoming Rockford College in 1892. In a statement, the director of the Jane Addams Center said, "Our hope is that this day of service can be an opportunity for us to consider ways we can reach out to communities in need and recognize how community engagement and activism can unite us." Still to come, both presidential candidates meet again just one day after their debate.
How they commemorated and recognized the 9/11 attacks.
And coming up at 6, a Rockford man found not guilty of murder. The additional charges he continues to face.
Our temperatures have made their way into the mid-80s for many of us today underneath filtered sunshine. I'll let you know when the haze is expected to be replaced by some rain showers coming up in just a few minutes.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Mimi Murphy, Wendell Edwards, Scott Leber, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Analysts are still unsure if last night's debate will move the election in favor of either candidate.
Today, both candidates met again in New York. And Wynn has the latest from Washington.
Today, in a rare public appearance together, President Biden, alongside both presidential candidates, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump, all gathering in New York to commemorate the 23rd anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks. The two nominees meeting for the first time just one day before, walking onto the debate stage. In a power move, Harris initiating a handshake.
Kamala Harris, let's have a good debate.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Harris set out to hold Trump accountable for his record, blaming him for the new abortion restrictions across the country, saying what he is putting women through is unconscionable.
Donald Trump certainly should not be telling a woman what to do with her body.
The former president refusing to commit to veto a national abortion ban.
But if I could just get a yes or no, because your running mate, J.D. Vance, has said that you would veto it if it did come to your desk.
Well, I didn't discuss it with J.D. In all fairness, J.D., and I don't mind if he has a certain view, but I think he was speaking for me, but I really didn't.
Trump hitting Harris on immigration.
They're destroying the fabric of our country by what they've done.
What we have in the former president is someone who would prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem.
Trump kept going back to immigration and the southern border. It is one of the strongest issues he has. On the other side, you saw Harris with some of her stronger moments talking about abortion rights in very emotional and visceral terms.
On the economy, Harris touted a plan for tax breaks for small businesses and a first-time homebuyer credit for down payments. Trump had won the coin toss and chose to give the closing statement.
They've had 3.5 years to create jobs and all the things we talked about. Why hasn't she done it?
Both presidential candidates will be right back out on the campaign trail this week. Tomorrow, Harris heads to North Carolina, Trump to Arizona. Emwin, ABC News, Washington.
Here in the state line, another beautiful day.
Just gorgeous. When we come back, Jordan tells us if we're going to have more beautiful days. His full forecast is next.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Well, it's been a pleasant late summer day across the state line. Our temperatures have made their way into the mid-80s for many of us so far. And this is all because we have a lot of warm air across a pretty broad region, not only here locally, but also across a very large region with highs in the 80s today across most of this map. And we have some southerly winds that's helped to aid in that warmth here locally, bringing many spots into the mid-80s. That's where we sit for at least a few of us. 85 in Sterling right now, 84 in Savannah, 82 in Freeport, 83 in Rockford and in Roselle, 84 the current temperature in Janesville. We have had a little bit of this upper level wildfire smoke that's really settled in over the last couple of days. It hasn't really helped to limit much in the way of warming, as we are still warmer than where we were yesterday, but it does give a little bit of a hazy look to the skyline, and that's what we see with our Mercy Health SkyTrack camera overlooking downtown Rockford on the Supply Corps building that's brought to us by Window World. Off in the distance, not much in the way of cloud cover, but we do see that haze that has at least shown up there off in our cameras, and it will help to bring at least a little bit more of a bright sunset into the evening as well. Temperatures through the clear skies, though, outside of that smoke will drop back down into the 50s overnight tonight. We're back down to around 55 for the overnight low, despite the fact that we still have at least a little bit of that clear skies. We still have a lot of drier air down near the lowest levels of the atmosphere, and that's helped to keep our skies clear and free of cloud cover. That's what we see with satellite and radar, but when we turn our eyes a bit further off to the south, it is not quite so calm. In the Gulf of Mexico, Hurricane Francine just now, within the last 10 or 15 minutes, making landfall in Louisiana as a Category 2 storm. Currently has winds up to 100 miles per hour, sustained winds, and is moving to the northeast around 17 miles per hour. Notice the track of this storm does get at least a little bit closer to us as we head into the weekend. It will not bring us nearly the significant impacts that we will see down to the south, but it may bring us at least a little bit of moisture, which may help to bring us some rain chances. However, there is still some caveats to that. It's because we have some blocking patterns that will go in the upper levels of the atmosphere. This low pressure signifies the remnants of Hurricane Francine. Meanwhile, we have a surface high pressure up to the north and to the northeast. That high pressure will act as somewhat of a blocking pattern, which may prevent Hurricane Francine from making its way a bit further up to the north. That's why you saw in that hurricane graphic all of those stacked very close to one another, as that track of the hurricane is going to be a little bit slower as we head into the next couple of days. Notice this Futurecast, though, as we get a little bit of a gradual increase in cloud cover, especially through tomorrow and going into Friday. Meanwhile, Saturday could bring us at least a few very spotty showers. I think we have a little bit of a higher chance for some stronger coverage of those showers on Sunday compared to Saturday, but nonetheless, both of those days not featuring much in the way of widespread rain, whereas the better forcing and better moisture will remain down to the south across southern Illinois. That will eventually then pivot out of the region, giving us much drier air once again as we head into the early part of next week. This will also impact us in the way of our wildfire smoke as well. When that hurricane does make its way to the area, it brings a little bit more enhanced winds, not only in the low levels, but also in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. That helps to push at least some of that wildfire smoke out of the way. However, that will be replaced with thicker cloud cover and the potential for those rain showers once we head into Saturday and Sunday. Those are the 2 days that I have for our main chances for rain. I think we have a higher chance for more strong coverage there on Sunday compared to Saturday, but temperatures throughout will still be a bit warmer. 86 tomorrow, 83, and then low 80s the rest of the week, but drying out once we head beyond the weekend.
Thank you very much, Jordan.
Drew Collins is in next with sports. He'll tell us how the Cubs are inching closer to a wild card spot.
And an update on why a Bears player is getting some recognition across the league.
Now sports with Drew Collins.
After the nail-biting win last night, the Cubs have a chance to sweep the Dodgers in LA tonight. Not to mention they're only 4 games out of a wild card spot. But first, let's take a look at the final moments of last night's game. We start in the bottom of the 9th. The Cubs are up 3 runs with Muncy up to bat with a runner on base. This is when pitcher Porter Hodge would have to call for time after experiencing heart issues. He stated that his heart was racing and he couldn't catch his breath. He was instructed then to take a knee and focus on his breathing until his heart rate would lower. Shortly after that, he would stay in the game to deliver the final pitch. What looks like a homer to the stands would be robbed by PCA at the wall. An absolutely stunning play for PCA and the Cubs. The Cubs would go on to win 6-3 and now have a chance to sweep the Dodgers tonight. And now let's take a closer look at those standings. Here it is, the NL wildcard race. San Diego leads alongside the Diamondbacks over 2 games. That means both the Braves and Mets are tied for the last spots. Both their records are 79 and 66. That puts the Cubs 1 spot out of the race. They are 4 games behind either the Mets or Braves. If they sweep the Dodgers tonight, their next few series are favorable towards them. If they can keep it up, we'll keep an eye out on this for you as the season comes to a close. And speaking of closing in on the season, the Sox lost again today, 6-4 to the Guardians. That marks the 114th loss of the season for the Sox. They could seriously break the post-1900s record for the worst team ever. They would only need to lose 7 more games to break the 1962 Mets 120-loss season. And for Bears fans, we have good and bad news ahead of the Bears' primetime Sunday night football game against the Texans. The good news is that Bears corner Tyreek Stevenson was recognized as the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He played a major part in the Bears' win, 4 tackles, 2 pass deflections, and of course the big pick 6 that gave the Bears the lead in the 4th quarter. In other news today, the Bears had a couple of key players not active in practice. Eberflus said Rome Odunze is considered day-to-day with a knee injury, while veteran receiver Keenan Allen is dealing with a heel injury, and Eberflus didn't comment on a timeline for him. DeMarcus Walker and Zach Pickens also remains in question for Sunday. There's no doubt Caleb Williams needs every weapon possible for that Texans defense. That's sports. We'll be right back.
First Warn Interactive Radar brought to us by Rockford Glass & More, continuing to show the clear skies we have outside of the wildfire smoke that will continue to keep a little bit of a hazy look to the atmosphere here through the later part of the night tonight. Despite that, our temperatures will drop back down into the mid-50s for overnight lows tonight, very close to average. But we are warmer again tomorrow afternoon, back into the mid-80s, low 80s the rest of the 7-day forecast, but that does come with our rain chances once we get into Saturday and going into Sunday, drier into the early part of next week.
Thanks, Jordan.
And thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again at 6.